everyone, welcome back to the second episode of The Raven's Shade. So in this episode, we will be talking about what magic is and what is energy and how we as practitioners can manipulate those energies. Now the book and the source that I'm getting this from is the Ars Africanus. It is written by Vasilios Wintergreen, who is an amazing author and wrote all these books explaining the paradigm of witchcraft, the paradigm of the occult world, and different types of studies in regards to the occult practices. So let's get started. So what is magic? So magic is the art of perceiving energy and manipulating it on the etheric level. So when we think of etheric level, think of a plane similar to the astral plane, but a plane where energies are visible, where energies are emanated from an object or yourself, and you can actually see that. We humans can only perceive the rainbow spectrum of light, but there are many other spectrums of light, and those can be seen on different wavelengths, different planes, and stuff like that too. So, as witches, how do we manipulate those energies? Well, in a way, you can manipulate those energies through your hands, your eyes, through words, because words also have power. Words are vibrations, and vibrations is what literally makes this whole world. If you go look at an atomic level of an object, it's not a solid object. In chemistry, atoms are vibrating, and vibration is just what is the fundamental basis of creation. So, for me personally, vibrations, sound, word, music, it all affects energy. And you may see it happening because in magic, wording, incantations, spells, hymns, and prayers all affect reality. Why? Because they emit certain wavelengths, certain vibrations. So basically, witchcraft or magic is the ability to use energy, make it vibrate, and affect things on this plane, affecting things on the etheric level or the astral plane. Now, when it comes to magic, many people have different forms. And these different forms can include, and are not limited to, shamanism. It can also be not limited to shifting, which is something that is kind of controversial in the spiritual community. Practitioners of magic are part of the rich and ancient traditions of those seeking to access unseen forces and explore the mysteries of existence. This path entails a complete transformation of the spirit. Such transformation shifts the awareness, facilitating perception of the subtle aspect of existence and unification of a larger ecology of consciousness and energy. Through this perception and unification, the practitioner may powerfully shift existence at the subtle etheric level to change at the material level. This phrase has been taken from the book Ars Africanus by Vasilios Wintergreen, and I think that this phrase is something that needs to be said in the witchcraft or practitioner community, because when we think about magic, we just think manipulating energies to get what we want, that's the whole goal. But you can also use magic to justify science, and that's what's kind of amazing. For me personally, I feel like witchcraft is science because of how we utilize energy, how we utilize sounds and vibrations. So now we are going to talk about what a spell is. Now, a spell is a experiment where a practitioner can use energy to get what they want or to achieve their goal. Now, what do spells include? Well, they include sigils, incantations, ingredients such as herbs, personal objects, talismans, and amulets. And that is something that is very much stereotypical. You know, spells can only be phrases, or spells can only be ingredients. You don't need the whole package to create a spell. And that's the beauty of magic. Now, when it comes to bigger and more advanced working, you are going to need ingredients. You are going to need tools, because you are capable of X amount of energy. And to conduct a X amount of energy for your goal, you really need more energy. Now, you can find a source such as the earth, the moon, celestial bodies, deities, crystals. And though entities are not ingredients, you can ask them, kindly petition them to utilize their energy for your working. With the proper price, they may consider it. You can give them an offering. You can give them prayers for X amount of days. You can give them devotion. And in exchange, you can gain some of their energy to help you accomplish their work, or your work, sorry. So another question that I gained was, how do you create a spell? So when you create a spell, you can first find your goal. What do you want your goal to have? So let's say I want to find money. You know, that is my goal. You're going to do research on the ingredients that you are going to use. Well, first you're going to use research to find what type of spell you want to do. You know, examples of these spells can be candle spells, bottle spells, sachets, talismans, amulets. You can use sigil magic, bone magic. You can also use money sprays. Spray some spray infused with money intention, and you can gain money that way. Magic is not limited to candle spells. Magic is not limited to bottle spells. There are many different ways to use magic and witchcraft other than those two mainstream ways. So once you find a way to essentially find what spell you want to do. For me, I'm going to use a mainstream way, a candle spell. So with my intent, gaining money, you are going to use a candle spell. So you are going to use color correspondences if you want to. I'm going to use green and white. Next, you can use ingredients. So for mine, I am going to get some basil for prosperity, some cloves for fortune, and I am going to use calendula for abundance. You can get any sort of other crystals you want, infusing its energy into the candle. You can ask a deity such as Taiki or Nike, goddesses of victory and luck and fortune. You can also ask Fortuna or Prosperitas, goddesses of fortune and prosperity. Your imagination is not limited. Your visualization is not limited. Your choices are not limited. So once you get your herbs or your ingredients, your method of spells, you can also get you can also get things like sigils. You can use sigils to infuse more energy. Now, sigils are essentially words words in a pictographic form, and I'll make a video or a podcast on what sigils are and what can they do. So once you have all your research done, you can finally start doing your spell. And for me, casting a circle, cleansing your space, you don't need to cast a circle, it's just what I do, and I think that's amazing. For me, it gives me a sense of peace, so I don't have to worry about external forces tampering with my work. Once you have your cleansing space, your protections that are optional, once you do that, then boom, you can finally do your spell. Now, you can get incantations, set up an altar, anoint your candles, or however you may do your spell. And visualizing. Your brain is literally the powerhouse for witchcraft. Your brain is probably the most useful tool when it comes to manipulating energy. So visualizing your intent, visualizing the energies, feeling those energies through your hands. I'll make a video on that too. And yeah, so pretty much that's how you make a spell. You can make it as complex as you want to a simple chant, and that will be regarded as a spell. Now, to end this podcast episode, I want to talk about why it's important to keep your spells in memoriam. So sometimes when you create spells, you are known to be prone to... Actually, no, scratch that. We're going to be talking about doubting spell work to end this episode. So when you doubt spell work, your spell energy gets more and more infiltrated by negative thoughts and negative emotions. So as you keep doubting your spell work, you will essentially make your spell backfire, because doubting spell work is something that's been a problem for new beginners or new practitioners, because they haven't had this sort of thing in hand and they want to see their goals emerge quickly. So that is something to keep in mind. Doubting spell work is dangerous and it shouldn't be done. But if you ever have doubts of a spell work, ground and center, have some space. And yeah, so this is the end of episode 2, how to create simple spells and essentially what magic is. So stay tuned for episode 3 in the near future. Have a good day.